Hundreds of years after Adam and Eve, there were many people in God's world. But they didn't listen to God. No one thought good thoughts or did good things. God was sorry he had ever made people. He decided to send a flood to wash away everything. Only one man still loved and obeyed God. His name was
Noah.
Noah. God told Noah how to build a big boat called an ark. Then God told him to gather 2 of every kind of animal, 1 male and 1 female. I wonder why he needed 1 male and 1 female.
So it can produce more animals.
Okay. You need a male and a female, I'm assuming. Genesis 7, all on board. Noah listened to God. He built the ark and filled it with 2 of every kind of animal. Noah and his wife went into the ark too. His 3 sons and their wives went with them. There was just enough room for all of the people and animals. God closed the door and promised to keep them all safe. Keep them safe from what?
The water. The flood.
The flood. Dark clouds filled the sky, and it began to rain. But Noah, his family, and the animals were safe and dry in the ark. It rained for, guess what?
40 days.
40 days and 40 nights. Flood water soon covered the whole earth, but the ark floated on the water. When the rain stopped, the water slowly began to go down. The ark landed on a mountaintop. Noah sent out a dove several times. When it came back with an olive branch in its beak, Noah knew the treetops were finally showing. God told Noah it was safe to leave the ark. Bless you.
Thank you.
The rainbow. When Noah opened the door of the ark, the happy animals ran, jumped, crawled, and flew to freedom. Noah and his family were happy to be back on dry land. They gave thanks to God for keeping them safe. God promised that he would never again send a flood to cover the whole earth. As a sign of this promise, God put a beautiful rainbow in the sky. It was the very first one. Now we have a new character coming into the picture. Abraham. Y'all know about Abraham? Have y'all ever heard of Abraham?
I was about to say Abraham Lincoln.
God's Abraham.
Oh.
God talks to Abraham. Abraham lived in a very nice house in the city of Ur, over there in Iraq, so they say. One day God surprised Abraham. God said, "Leave this city and go to a new country that I will show you. If you do this, I will bless you and make your family special." Abraham was 75 years old, and it wasn't easy for him to get ready for a long trip. Why?
Because he had to pack, and then he had to help his family pack, and he had to get everything ready, and he had to, like, if he moved to another country, then he had to go back and get some other stuff and go back again. That would take a really long time. So nobody would get. And if they ran out of food, they would have to go back to the old house and then get it, and then get it, then get it, then go back, get it, go back.
So they would have to keep going back to get more food? Or could they plant food in the new land?
Only if you had like seeds.
And no
Okay.
grass.
But what if they had to
No
go
garden.
back and get the seeds?
So you guys were saying that Abraham is facing a lot of problems, a lot of obstacles. But guess what? But he obeyed God and packed up all his things. He left home with his wife Sarah and his nephew Lot. They weren't surprised they weren't sure where they were going or how long their journey would take. So they didn't even know where they were going or how long they'll be going. All they know is God say move. So guess what they're getting ready to do? Move. So let's read a little bit more about Abraham and Lot and his nephew Lot. Abraham and Lot had many sheep, cows, and goats. You think they took those with them too?
Yeah.
Did they have trucks to put their goats in?
No. He probably just like attached them to whatever they had, and then
Or
You ever heard of a shepherd?
yeah.
What does a shepherd do?
a
Watch
shepherd
all the
takes care of the sheep.
Okay. So they must have had a lot of shepherds with them, right? Both of them had servants who took care of their animals. These servants were always fighting over the best fields and water for their animals. Abraham wanted to stop the fights. Let's live in different places, he said to Lot. Then there will be plenty of grass for all of our animals to eat. Abraham wanted to be kind, so he let Lot choose which place he wanted first. Lot chose the best place for himself, close to the river, with lots of green grass. God was pleased that Abraham was kind to Lot, and God promised to give Abraham and his family lots of good land too. Now, what do they consider by good land? What makes the land good? If you had to live on the land, what would you want by your land?
Water so I can drink out of water.
I would want to live by water so I can drink the water. Is there food in the water?
No. Except
fish.
Is fish food?
Yes.
So you need water to drink. You need fish to eat. How you gonna water your crops when it don't rain?
Get it by the water.
So that's why you need to live by the water. Would you like a desert?
No, because they don't have water.
No water. What about a forest?
A rainforest.
Or a jungle?
Jungle.
Tigers.
The Arctic?
I would live there because I would have packed 12,000 jackets.
So think about all this when God gave them good land. What type of land do you think this land was?
Florida.
No.
Yeah, this is good land. So you think God?
Georgia. Florida wasn't
Georgia is good
Florida,
land.
Georgia. This place wasn't
Yeah.
even born yet.
Yes, it was.
Well,
We just
nobody
didn't know
named
that
it yet.
it didn't have the same. It had a name, just not the name that we call it today. It had a different name. So we got to find out what was the name. Maybe
Florida.
you ever heard of Jerusalem,
Jerusalem,
Zion,
Zion,
Shiloh,
Shiloh,
Mount Zion?
Zion.
Guys, these are real places from the Bible that we have to discover. Just like we found one place that just said Earth.
We live in Earth.
Not Earth, Earth. You are. Earth.
Earth.
Okay, now we're up to date. January 13th, Genesis. God promised to Abraham. So, last thing promised was the good land, right? It didn't seem possible that Abraham and Sarah would ever have a child of their own. Sarah was 90 and Abraham was almost 100 years old. God wanted a whole nation of people to know and love him. So he made a special promise to Abraham and Sarah. Sarah will have a baby boy, said God. You will call him Isaac. I will bless you with many, many children, and they will have many, many children. And all of you will live in this beautiful country forever. But in return for all of that, I want you to promise you will always obey me. So think about this, guys. Abraham was 100, his wife 90 years old, and God promised them, you will have a baby boy. Think about it now.
You'll be too old to have a baby boy.
You think they will be? But not with God. God makes anything possible.
Even flying? Even flying people?
Genesis 18, the 3 special visitors. We'll read that tomorrow.
God.
Okay.
So,
Angels.
this has been a,
YBE recording.
and it's me, it's me, it's me.
Oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer.
Not
Not my
my,
brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Not my brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer.
it's
It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer.
amen. And thank you for that beautiful
Amen.
selection, choir. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
Now let's all say a prayer.
Go ahead and say the prayer, Alan.
Thank you, God, for letting us have this beautiful day. And all this food that we eat every single day. Amen.
Amen. And when you get all that food, YBE.
You better eat all of it.
All
You
of
better
it.
eat all of it.
And don't let nobody eat my food.
You better eat all of them, which is hearts.
And let everybody carry them to me.
So you can eat them. You
which
better
is
eat
hard.
all of them, Alan. 'Cause
You know which is hard.
that's why you're so skinny now. Yeah.